Good day everyone, this is Junaid Khan. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. Today I am going to talk about what is going to happen in 2025 and especially people who are a bit disappointed regarding all the policy changes in 2024. If either it's like visitor visa application, the study permit application, for the work permits, asylum seekers, immigration, express entry, PNP, there has been a lot of changes by the end of 2024. Well, it's not stopped yet. Even today or from the last 2 weeks in January 25, there has been a lot of changes. Mark Miller was on the television talking about stricken up the borders, which is news for the US people on the Mexico borders and all that stuff. Well, they are making good policies regarding the borders and all that stuff. Plus, the flag polling, study permit changes, the visitor visa application changes, reduction in overall immigration 2025, whether it's if you're coming as a permanent resident, as a student, as a visitor, especially most importantly when they stop the application for parents and grandparents in 2025. I mean, a lot of people I know, they're very disappointed. Anyways, let's talk about how you should proceed, which is the most important thing if you are interested to be in the applicant for any of these applications. Things are not going to be stopped completely. It's not going to happen. You cannot, as a country, Canada cannot stop everything. They cannot just close their borders. It's not a pandemic anymore, so things are not going to be completely stuck or 100% closed, but things are going to slow down a little bit, but they're still calling people in, and the difference is not huge. If you talk about the express entryways or the study permits or the visitor visa application, it was a drastically high in the last 2 years, but is going to be settled now. The genuine student, they still have a very good chance to get in. A genuine visitor still have a very good chance in it. A genuine immigrant who has a good profile or they are in demand, they have a very good chance in it. So what I have seen, to be very honest, what I have seen in all of these caps, things are going to be strict for those people who were trying to make a shortcut. Most importantly, students from I've seen India, some of them from Pakistan, different countries as well, who were trying to get in with the fake offer letter or fraudulent document in their application, misrepresentation in the application, or the GIC issues, the funds issues and all that. But if you're a genuine student, no problem. If you're a genuine visitor, no problem. If your file is strong and you are eligible for express entry PNP, it's a good file, you can apply. We need to talk about how things are going to be and how you should proceed with your application so you will have the maximum chances of approval. And how do you know, actually, the main question is, how do you know, am I eligible or not? So let's talk about the visa application. In my consultancy, I have actually stopped application, putting application into the portal or submitting application in the month of December 2024. I told all of my clients, we're gonna stop a little bit here. Things are not looking very good. We will apply in January and then we'll see how things work. I did that. I have actually gotten approval yesterday, if I am not mistaken, or maybe the day before yesterday, I'm not completely forgotten top of my mind, but it was actually an approval of a visit visa application in 2 days. Put the application in, got the approval in 2 days, no biometrics, because the client had 3 refusals already. You can check it on my screen. We applied the application and then we got the results in 2 days, maybe 3 days. I don't remember on top of my mind. So 3 refusals before, application put in January, got results in January, and it's a positive result. So like I said, I have been getting a lot of calls from the people who, I was planning to apply for my visa, but I think now this is not a chance anymore. It's completely dead end, towards Canada and all that. If you have a genuine purpose, if you have a good documentation, if you can satisfy an officer for few things. One, Why is your trip important? Number two, the purpose of your visit, which is basically linked to the first point. Third, that why would you come back to the home country? The ties to your home country. Fourth, you have enough financials to take care of this trip if you're coming alone, and you have enough financials to take care of your family at the same time as well. Or if you're coming all together, then you have enough funds to show that you can afford this. And it is important to you for you to come to Canada. These are the few things you need to satisfy immigration officer, but you need to have strong evidences backing up all of your claims. So this is how you do it, and you see the results. 2 days, got approved, alhamdulillah. Now let's talk about the students. This is not a dead end for students. Well, there are two new updates for students. There are allocations, on the media as well, that how much quotas they have given to the different provinces. Ontario, Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, all of the provinces, they have gotten quota from the whole number, which they are going to welcome in 2025. I'm talking about students. And they have also given the list of quotas provided to the students who are coming in masters, who doesn't need a PAL, quota to the students who needs a PAL, for undergrad, for postgrad, for students who are going to be joining Canadian schools as a minor. So all of these quotas have been allocated already. I am probably going to make another video because this video will go very long if I include all of this information here. So now the most important thing for the students is that you need to understand the category of immigration, because what I have realized in my understanding, it is not written anywhere, but in my understanding, they have sort of linked the study permit, the students who are going to be in Canada in 2025, linked with the immigration plans. How they linked it is very easy to understand. Let's talk about immigration. There are few categories which are highly in demand in express entry in the provincial levels as well, and in the federal programs as well. French proficiency, people who know French and who have the test done for the French. Second, people who are in healthcare department, who work in a healthcare sector. And when I talk about healthcare, there are 35 to 40 different occupations. If you are one of them, you are in demand. Then science, technology, engineering, math, STEM, all of these four factors are in demand. Trade occupation, transport occupation, these are the occupations which are in demand. So these are in demand in immigration sector. But also, these are in demand in student sectors as well. Let me give you an example. From last 3 years, every single I have put in for students, and those students who were inclined towards getting something done in a medical field. For an example, I have students came into Canada on a mental health and addiction programs, physiotherapy programs, and other medical related, healthcare related programs. From last 3 years, I have not a single refusal for the students who were actually got into the healthcare sector. I'm talking about 3 years. Now, this is going to be even stricter. Last year in 2024, no refusal at all for the study permit application, specifically who were in a healthcare program. Accounting, finance, business, yes, there are less chances now. But healthcare is a one sector if you wish to study, and if you really want to do it and you want to do it from Canada, this is your time. 2025 is going to be your time to get your visa approved for a student. And this will also help you to get PR later on. It is going to be very difficult to come in as a business student and getting a PR later on, because the points are going to be really high, and they're only giving permanent residencies who are basically in demand right now. Things are going to be they've stricken up a little bit, yes, but things are going to be very much in place now. Canada is focusing on who we need in Canada, what kind of people, what kind of skills we need in Canada. If you are one of them, yes, you are in. If you're not one of them, we are sorry for now. This is going to be the practice for this complete year. I'm telling you, in the beginning of this year, I will definitely make a video at the end of this year as well, but I will pretty sure this is how it's going to be. So healthcare, Science, technology, engineering, math. If you wanted to study one of these sectors, this is your time to apply. And transport, skilled, if you want to get something skilled which is also in demand in Canada, that's fine. There are mechanics, carpenters, there are good courses available for these kind. Plus, you have known, by now that a lot of courses, institutes have cut it down already. There are so many courses, more than 50 courses per institute. Algoma, Sheridan and Frenchwood College, they have cut down most of their courses, and these are the courses which are not in the in-demand sector in the express entry. So basically, they have never cut down a healthcare course. Why? Because it's in demand. The PAL is there, the postgraduate work permit is there, and definitely that program will take you towards to become a permanent resident in Canada. So if you're a student, you have to be very picky and very wise about the selection of your course. And definitely, I'm not saying that you are a business student and now you have to come to Canada to do MBBS or to do, physiotherapy, to become a physiotherapist and all that. I'm not telling you that. What I'm saying is, if you are already in this sector, if you have done, your high school in these courses, and if you're really wanting to do it, this is your chance to get it done. If you talk about, let's talk a little bit about the immigration programs as well. Well, they have cut down the number of immigrants this year, and again, the same situation will be implementing on these people as well. That if you are in one of the in-demand occupation, you will be very much welcome, and there are high chances. It was a draw yesterday for the CEC and Canadian Experience class. 4,000 invitation was granted over there, 527 points, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So you have to think about that way. If you need to get in and you need to be a permanent resident later on, you have to be on Canada's plan now. This is not the time, what people used to do, what students used to do, if you wish to come to Canada and you just put in your application, put in your scores and you're good. Right now, Canada is very mature in this way now that they really know at this point who they actually need, and all of these numbers for 2025 are going to be those people who Canada actually need. So if your education, your work experience is in a sector which is not really commendable in Canada and not really suitable for you to come over, it's going to be difficult for you guys. So it's never a dead end. It's not going to be a dead end. One country cannot really close their borders, cannot really stop a single immigrant to get in. This is not a pandemic anymore. The borders are going to be open. People are going to be welcome. Visitors, students, immigrants, refugee claimants. But things are very much in place now. And very important thing I wanted to talk about in this video, I just clicked it in my mind, probably gonna make my video a little longer, but they are very strict now on misrepresentation, very much strict on how you portray your application. So this is my advice to every one of you who's watching is, if you are doing your application yourself, look at your questions, look at what you're answering the question, make sure you do not hide anything, make sure you are not withholding any facts, make sure you are not telling something which is not true in your application, because there is a 5 years ban on the misrepresentation. But what used to happen is, they don't really check or they don't really dig in your application to find that misrepresentation. Canada was very naive at one point. They don't really dig in your application and they trust you whatever you are telling them. Right now, I'm not blaming Canada. Honestly speaking, it's like, it's some of the immigrants, it's some of the people who actually did it, or deliberately or forcefully or unwillingly. I'm not getting into this, but 50,000 fake offer letters from the students got into Canada in last year or so. Fake IELTS issues are there, and 50,000 plus students, there were no show. They applied for their education, they pay their fees, they get into Canada on a study permit, and universities and colleges call them no-show. That means they never ever attended the school. Where did they go? What are they doing? What were the intentions? So basically it was a misrepresentation. You told Canada we're coming to study, then we'll play an important role in the economy, paying the fees, working sectors and all that, but never show up in the colleges, never show up in the universities. So these are the things happened in the last couple of years, specifically 23 and 24, which definitely gonna have an impact one day, and today we are facing that. But again, like I said earlier, it's never gonna completely stop. I have shown you one of my approval in 2 days on my screen, so it's not gonna stop, but you have to be careful. The genuine people who really want to visit and there's a purpose for it, a genuine student who really wanted to study and contribute, a genuine person who is basically their occupation are in demand and their proficiency, their English proficiency, education, work experience are top notch, and genuine refugee cases who really have a fear in their back home and doesn't have a place to live. So these are the people who are going to be welcome in 2025. If you're one of them, prepare your application in a very good way. One another thing, if you're hiring a consultant, it is very important. The College of Immigration Citizenship Consultants, IRCC, they are very much focusing on unauthorized practitioners because they feel like these are the people who really mislead the clients. Sometimes they don't have any idea, but they have gotten wrong information and put in their application, which basically cause the delay in the overall system. The application could delay the processing times, or even if they got approved, once they get in, it's going to be a problem for Canada as well. So make sure if you're doing your application yourself, get an advice, but with the licensed person, or if you're hiring someone, make sure they are licensed. They are called RCICs, are regulated Canadian immigration consultants. Thank you very much.